got some big news today for the Los Angeles Rams. An update on Alaric Jackson, the Rams left tackle, and Matthew Stafford continues to practice ahead of the 53-man roster being finalized. And of course, when we say finalized, it's like the for now finalized, where like it's actually going to move and be malleable for the majority of the NFL season, because that's how this kind of thing works. Thanks for joining me here in the Rams Radar. Let's talk Rams. Feel free to like and subscribe. So starting off, Sean McVay was asked about Alaric Jackson, and now this is a mystery that has kind of been going on for a while now in regards to AJ having blood clotting. We're not really sure about it. For those of you who don't know, AJ Jackson, Canadian, aka the Great North Wall, he signed a big contract with the Rams. He's worked so hard to get that contract and be in this position, and then he did have a medical concern in regards to blood clotting, but they've been treating it, and it seems like the Rams medical staff is doing amazing things with him and also with Matthew Stafford, because this was the update on Alaric Jackson from Sean McVay's press conference today.
He's on track. Is there a day that he has to be evaluated for?
No, he's good. He's going to partake in next Monday's practice, Wednesday and Thursday, and then he'll just do the jog through stuff on Friday.
What?
So it's really cool. I think we've got a good.
That's phenomenal. Okay, like what a fantastic update to get on your left tackle heading into the season that there were some concerns about, but he's going to start practicing next week.
Good plan in place. Again, that is something, whether you talk about Matthew's back or the thing with Alaric, that I certainly have never dealt with before.
Yeah.
So I think that demands, flexibility, but we feel really good. I mean, he has put so much work in. I think he's handled it like a total stud. And I'm really happy for him that all things are pointing to him being ready to go and being able to manage this. And I think there's been a lot of work behind the scenes of being educated on how many people have really been able to deal with this. What's the best way to be able to, have the meds, then you get off of them so you don't leave yourself susceptible to some of the things that the medication, can, prevent you from being able to play football. And so he's done a lot of work. I think we've got a really good gauge on when those get out of his system, and feel really fortunate that that's the direction that we're treading in.
We probably don't talk enough about the Rams medical staff. Between, Matthew Stafford's back and Alaric Jackson's blood clotting, they've created plans for them to get back on track to play healthy, right? And even dating back, you think of like Cam Akers, when he had his Achilles go, and he battled back from that. You think of, Cooper Kupp, the various injuries that he's battled through, the support that he got through that. I'm really thankful for this Rams medical staff, and especially I hear, of Reggie that this, Sean McVay mentions his name all the time. So definitely one of the, heroes in this Rams organization is this top tier medical staff that the Los Angeles Rams have come to employ. And very thankful for them as a fan who, I'm not a doctor. I'm not someone who knows the ins and outs of every, medical procedure. But I am glad to know that the Rams players are getting top tier world class care when they do have an injury. Some Rams adjacent news: as the Rams start to prepare for their Week 1 matchup against the Houston Texans, it was announced today by Adam Schefter that the Texans are not activating running back Joe Mixon by Tuesday 4 p.m. Eastern Time deadline, making him ineligible to play at least the first 4 games this season due to an ankle injury. Mixon will be moved to reserve non-football injury, which automatically rules him out for at least 4 games. So that's a big player for the Texans. I know Nick Chubb is still there. The Texans still have, a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. They're a good team. Something to take note of for sure as, the Rams start to prepare for this Week 1 matchup against the Texans. We want to see the Rams start the season off with a big win at SoFi. Sean McVay also spoke a lot about Stafford's participation in practice today, and I would say this is the most of note that I appreciated from his press conference.
I know you had said that you plan to give him 1 day off every block. Is that kind of the conversation you guys are this year?
Yeah, we adjusted that plan a little bit just based on him getting out there last week, and so we naturally kind of have a 4-week or a 4-day block anyways, where you're kind of deloaded on that third day. So he's been a full participant really in everything. He's been able to feel good each of the next mornings, and so we'll continue on with that, and then we'll see what the in-season approach entails.
You love hearing that. You love hearing that. Full participation in practice. That's what you want to hear from your starting quarterback, this close to the season. If anyone was tracking, my coverage or anyone's coverage of this, I like to do the 1 to 10 concern scale. I started as a 2, it got as high as a 4, and a little bit up to maybe a 6 at one point. But I can honestly say now I'm down to a 1. Down to a 1. It went down to a 1 when I heard Stafford speak last week in his first press conference in a while, and Dan Orlovsky was talking today on First Take about how this is not an ability thing, it's a pain management thing, and Stafford has been managing pain his entire NFL career, right? And I feel for him. I'm thankful that he has the toughness to attack this as a quarterback of the team that I cheer for and I root for. But all that to say, so excited to see Stafford slinging it, and this season's gonna be a good one. This is a good Rams roster, and Stafford is a big reason why it's a good Rams roster. Anyway, that's going to do it for me in this Rams update. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, go Rams, horns up, and peace out. Let's go Rams. I'll be having a watch party for the Rams-Texan game. Hope to see you there. We're going to have a lot of fun talking Rams and cheering them on as we get that week 1 dub.